Welcome to our latest edition of the CBAN Member Spotlight. I'm Curtis Dean, your host, and today we're on location. We're at Connected America. It's a great conference here in Dallas, Texas, technically Irving.
Yep.
And we're catching up with some of our CBAN members that are here as well, and one of the CBAN members is here is one of our associate members, RaDD Network Solutions, and
Yep.
so I'm here with Wyatt. Wyatt, I'm going to try to pronounce your last name now. It's Wisnefske. Wisnefske.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good old German name.
That's why I should, I should have practiced that before we started.
Yeah.
But people know I'm lame, so
Right.
it's not a big deal. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We're here at your exhibit table space at Connected America in the Dallas area.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, Wyatt, tell us a little bit about you and your role at RaDD.
So I am the president and CTO of RaDD. We're a network solutions integrator. We have a wide range of products from underground vaults, hybrid polymer, hybrid HDPE and plastics. We have a line of microduct and multi-duct conduit systems, and we've got a very large portfolio of fiber cable from let's call micro drop all the way up to high count ribbon that our manufacturers make to our specifications. We make a very contractor end user friendly product, especially when it comes to our cable. We have very innovative products. We've released 2 new pedestal lineups for 2024. We've got some new distributed split splice enclosures coming out to the market. That'll be a real game changer for cost savings on your fiber to the home deployment.
And how long have you been with RaDD personally?
RaDD is my company. I started RaDD basically, let's say, late 2018.
Okay, yeah.
I also have another company, Quad Optical Services in Wisconsin. We're a network builder. We build fiber networks and do fiber splicing, cable placement, and traditional construction for a wide range of companies from, let's say, Minnesota, Iowa, up into Wisconsin.
Fantastic. Now,
Yep.
which came first, RaDD or?
My construction company started first back in 2014.
Okay.
But during that time, I had a manufacturer's rep business working with products like Duraline, AFL,
Yeah.
GMP, as a microtechnology expert. And in around 2018, 2020, we ventured into our own with a partner manufacturer and started designing and making our own products.
Fantastic. Building better mousetraps. We were talking
Yes.
about before about
Yep.
innovation in the industry. Talk a little bit about just some of the innovations you've seen in the type of materials and services that you provide.
Sure. So we're seeing a switch to lower fiber count, such as distributed split systems, people doing more with a 24 count or a 48 count cable,
Okay.
reducing that fiber strand per home passed. Again, we're trying to bring that cost of home pass down, right? So
Right.
we're doing things with small enclosures the size of, as an example,
I knew we were going to do some
Sorry.
show and tell. This is the fun part,
We're
yes.
a very small enclosure, right?
Yeah.
Feeding 8 homes
Oh,
with
wow.
a small 24, 48 count cable.
Is that like what we would call a NID?
No, that's actually an IP68 enclosure.
Okay.
We've got 2 versions of it, a direct splice,
Okay.
or we've got a connectorized that with 8 SCAPCs in it.
Okay.
But bringing material down, so going to a smaller handhold. Like if I bring my fiber size down, I can reduce my case, I can reduce my vault size, right? My installation can even be cheaper.
Right.
So we're trying to help our end users save money, get that same robust deployment using new technology in PON. Again, we still do high fiber count active e-networks with providers as well,
Yeah.
but
Still some of those out there.
there are,
Yeah.
but we're really seeing that shift to reduce cost,
Yeah. Well,
whether they're private funded projects or grant funded.
that to me is the key to solving our digital divide, and we're talking about that a lot here at Connected America, is innovation to bring down the costs of deployment. And when you look at what's left, the areas that still need service, those are going to be the most expensive places to go. So anything to reduce the cost for that deployment is absolutely vital to making
Sure.
it happen.
And when we talk about reducing cost, it may be a remote area, but it may be an independent, it may be a MSO that's overbuilding their existing network, right? So they already have all the addresses hooked up, but they're on an old technology, they're on DSL, they're on an aging coax system. So they're going to go in and overbuild, and they're trying to reduce that cost to overbuild and still maintain that customer. Or they have competition coming in and overbuilding them, so they're going to try to, it's almost a race to the finish line.
It really is, and you know, that some of that competition did not exist just a few years ago. There have been some private players that have been able to make a business case to overbuild some of the bigger companies, some of the incumbents, and it's forcing the incumbents to be better. Wow, isn't that amazing?
It is. Competition,
how technology
competition
and competition
drives ingenuity, it drives
really
advancement, it's bringing costs down, and I think you'll see, we follow the European market and different parts of the world, the cost of broadband has come down dramatically, right?
Yeah.
So if we're building these expensive, you know, what I call mid-2000s networks with big vaults, big conduit, big fiber count, that end user cannot reduce their cost of broadband. And when a new ISP comes in and overbuilds them and starts selling gigabit speed at $39 a month, that incumbent can't keep up.
Yeah.
So, or they're priced out of the game.
And the consumer is the one that benefits.
Right.
Always.
It is.
Yeah.
I guess we're on both sides of it, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I like to help our whether it's a new ISP, it's an incumbent ILEC, or it's one of our MSOs that we work with. We like to show them a more innovative way to, whether it's using a composite product or a smaller footprint, just bringing that cost down.
Sure.
Yep.
Well, I think that's you know, like we said, particularly important reaching the rest that need to be reached. It's important in bringing more competitive services to the market, so the consumers have more choices. So that's really good.
Yep.
Well, hey, here at your booth, you got a number of goodies here, and besides the candy, I'll stay away from that.
That's my weakness.
Let's do a little tour here. Show me some of the stuff that you guys are showing here.
A couple things we'll go over quick. I'll go over some of our new distributed split micro module cable.
Okay.
We're releasing our new rectangular flared wall, which is a very lightweight but very robust, strong product. And we'll show you some of our new pedestals that we're releasing as well.
Excellent. Let's take a look.
Thank you. So we're releasing for 2024 our Max 10 pedestal. So really your 10-inch composite pedestal, HDPE. Some cool features about it. I mean, kind of becoming later to the market like we are. We've put a lot of thought and research into this, coming from a contractor world. You see it's a nice heavyweight HDPE dome. We can actually emboss customers' names on it as well.
Is there an advantage to that over a metal enclosure?
Really, it's cost, it's functionability. Metal and fiber, you know, you had the Vertiv or the Emerson line.
Yep.
It's really a copper ped, right? So they just took a copper ped and made it bit fiber. Production is much quicker on these. Cost. So some of the cool tech that we put in this, we have a few different flavors of this pedestal. We have what's called a direct splice, which is your customer who may be doing a direct bury or conduit. We have a two-part collar system. And what this collar does is it really keeps rodents out. So if you're in central Iowa, right, you got tall grass and ditches, everybody knows mice and pedestals happen, right? So by doing this, we have that collar sits up, you know, a good 4.5 inches into the dome, and it actually creates a seal. You're not going to have insects, mice, snakes getting up into your pedestal. So if we pop these bolts out, I've got them just loosened ahead of time. We have a heavy-duty collar that's two-piece. So if I remove that collar, this allows me, I'm speaking as a contractor who's setting these peds. If I'm a contractor, I'm probably going to pull the backplane out before I set it. So we have two pins that hold that in. I've just got them out for the show. We can remove our backplane. And now I can pull two pins, and we call this a trapdoor. So I pull these pins out. I've now plowed down to the right-of-way, and I've got to dig back my trench to get to the back of the right-of-way. So now I can pull my front door out, and I can sweep my direct bury fiber or conduit and get a very nice sweep all the way up. This just drops back in. There's dovetails that falls in.
Yep.
Pop our pins back in. And these pins actually have a C-clip, a little keeper on them.
Gotcha.
We just have them off for the show. So you'll see that we have a modular system, and this is a trade show. It has a couple different brackets in it.
Mm-hmm.
This is our modular backplane. We can do pre-connectorized drops, so we can bring our drop up, bring slack in. We have 4, 8, and 16 SCAPCs.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a bracket for OptiTaps, your hardened connector, if you want to go with a hardened drop. So another thing we can do is if you want to just hang a splice box, an MST, we can actually just drop a bracket. So it comes with a bracket available to zip tie or bolt a tap or fiber box in. So on our back plane, we drop back in. We'd put 2 pins in that would hold in.
Yep.
Grounding bracket. So this pedestal will actually splice up to a 288. So if you're a telco that's using an Armor 288 and want to do a reel end, you can actually use our hinge trays. These are 48 count trays, double stacked, with room for 3 PLC splitters in them. So our typical build would be, we're going to ring cut a 48 count, tie in a splitter. Our typical package comes with 1 tray, and more trays can be added. Drop this back in.
What would the world be without Velcro?
Yes, very easy. So then, once we're all set, after the ped is set, another thing you'll notice, our pedestal does not require a ped stake. So the waffling, and this is what holds it in. So
it.
during compacting, during placement, then we drop these.
And that's pretty much in all your enclosures, right?
Correct. Yeah. We have that waffled exterior. So then we drop on these, and this collar wouldn't be removed if your drop contractor wanted to remove it. To bring a drop in, they could pop it out.
But generally they wouldn't need to.
Nope, generally that's on and sealed in. These follow all the flame rating, and we have customers ask about if it's in a ditch fire. We meet and exceed all of the flame rating, similar to our competitors. We've also got drop ports on the back. These can be popped out, and we can put a grommet in. So if you tell your drop contractor, I want to bury it 6 inches, we can pop this out and put a rubber grommet in. Very easy to get the drop in. We've got them all the way down. So if you've got a drop spec at 18 inches, we can be there. Neat. And then you don't have to disturb the base of the pedestal when you're adding that drop.
Very flexible.
So
I see you have those on all 4 sides of the...
We do, yeah. It's very universal. So yeah, that's the Max 10 by RaDD.
Nice.
Another little, so we've got Big Brother.
Big Brother.
We had a customer that asked us to build a Little Brother. So you're going to see this is a prototype. The new product is not quite in service yet.
Okay.
But I'm going to show you something kind of interesting. So this is our 320T, our boundary box.
Yep.
So your little drop access box that would sit in front of your home or on a lot line. Pairs really well with our 24, 48 count distributed split cable, our round drop. So what we did is we decided to make this a multifunction product. We can remove the lid and turn it into a pedestal. So if I want to come in and turn up a customer, I can have my distributed split cable inside, drop this in, and the new product actually has a clip. It'll clip down and it'll also bolt down as well.
Gotcha.
We have a back plane that'll actually be powder coated as well, similar to our Max 10. We can house up to 4 SCAPCs or up to 4 hardened OptiTaps. Okay. Our splice tray is a single tray, so this would be a 48 count splice. So our back plane would drop in. We would actually we have a cable that we pair with this that we actually can store our buffer tube inside, and we can store slack. So if you wanted to lift this out, set it on a table and splice, you could. Or we have techs that'll just run in, burn their one fiber to their splitter with a little pre-terminated pigtail that'll land right here.
Yep.
And this is a finished product. Again, this will be in the same green as the Max 10.
Right.
So it's a very, as you can see,
neat.
Just a little over knee tall. It's about an 18-inch dome. But 5 inches versus 10 inch. So this will be your ground line. It'll be buried below.
Right.
So this is the Max 5 by RaDD, and we're looking forward to deploying it around May or June of this year.
Fantastic.
So.
Well, hey, this has been great. I really appreciate you can give us the tour here.
Yeah, thank you.
Wyatt. And hey, get your partner over here.
Craig?
Craig didn't know he was going to be on camera, but you know, look at these two handsome men.
Yeah.
Not a follicle of hair among them. We were just kidding.
We got to be bald in this industry.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, there's a lot of that. So, hey, I want to thank you guys both for coming on our member spotlight. We appreciate RaDD and you guys supporting CBAN and our mission, and we hope you have a great show. And
thank you.
For you road warriors, our hearts go out because you're going out so we don't have to.
Exactly. It's trade show season.
It is trade show season. Thanks a
All
lot.
right. Thanks again, Curtis.
Guests today, Craig and Wyatt, both with RaDD Network Solutions, and you've been listening to our Member Spotlight. Thanks for joining us.